Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to jump back into Gravity Sketch and I want to show some of the progress that I made with this automobile or Batmobile. I went back and started refining the model, went back and made this one big solid piece so that it's not in little pieces as I go along. And you can start to see, if I start pulling things apart, let's go ahead and do that. Let's just kind of give you a breakdown. What's what? These are all little pieces that I've slowly started modeling onto the car, and you can start seeing how many little details went into this. So you can almost see an exploded view of this, the little engine and the little detail parts. All this makes up the Batmobile. It's fun learning Gravity Sketch using this model. I always love Batman and coming back to stuff like this, but you can start to see where everything is going with it. So I kind of went back to a low poly version of this because it just seemed to be a little bit more useful to me. Let's pull this up and right there. So I wanted to pull this model out of Gravity Sketch, and I was trying to get to a finish line. I didn't want to keep spinning my wheels and keep going in circles to try to get this model done and just always do that, just be a work in progress. So I'm going to try to push this model out of Gravity Sketch and into a 3D renderer so I can actually make a polished version, put it in something with an environment or something with it and see how it looks. Put some turbo smooth and go from there. And it might be low poly. I might do a low poly scene. I'm still kind of debating on what this could be or what it's gonna do. I just kind of did this for learning and fun, but at the same time, I still like to make something out of it. So what I want to do is make this one mesh with that. And what I can do is just get rid of this and start building out. This also could be a part of the main vendor right here, but I don't want to have to redo all this, so this is already kind of set in stone. So what we can do is just start to pull out points and go from there. So let's go ahead and edit this and see if I don't break the model as I go along, because I really want this to kind of connect to this other one. Let's try to snap it. And as I notice going forward, the scene is getting a little bit more, it's grabbing a little more heaviness to it. There's a few times where it said like too many polygons, and so that's why I kind of went back to the low poly version of this. So let's go ahead and just start piecing together this model, making it work for what we need. You can start to see a lot of it's just push and pull, copy paste, and go back and forth. This one I'm going to connect to the main piece right here. It's always like Tetris, big Tetris model. You're trying to connect the space, find out where what goes best and what fits where. So I want another point right here, so let's go ahead and add a point about right there and snap. Quads are always good for whatever program you plan to go to. I always like having four-side geometry going forward. Now let's look a little more slick. Let's go ahead and do the back. Cut kind of helps me actually snap it to the wing. And a little bit there. What we really want this to do is connect to the face right there. You can always move that wing. Really like it to snap to itself. geometry that I created, but we can work around it. So let's go snap and snap. Gets kind of hard to see with all the points. That's why I'm kind of ready to turn it off. Just turn it off. Let's see what we got. Let's see. We do got the lip in there. Right. There you go. Let's pull this out and go from there. Touch the tire though. May add an extra loop right here. Flexibility to move some points. It's already snapped at the end, so let's just go from that. So now you got the Batmobile, looking like that. I wanted to try to refine the tires, but I don't know if I really want to spend the time inside of Gravity Sketch to make the tires. That makes sense. I will close this off though. We can go ahead and close that. Let's model with it. Sealed up, buttoned up. Let's see if we can actually do the edge loop of this. Yeah. That was something I saw in one of the videos the other day where you can grab the edge loop and then duplicate it and then do that joystick down. It actually kind of moves it back and forth. It's pretty neat. Back. So let's do that in one continuous motion. So let's pull this out. All right. Let's push it back. Can refine this to be even more precise because it's all one mesh now, so I don't really hit the. It was one mesh. This is one mesh. This is a separate mesh. This is what I'm kind of forgetting. I should have made them one, but you know, there's only so much time of the day. There you go. Got a little edge to the Batmobile. And let's say okay. So, what else can we do before we start jumping out of this program? Well, I need to get rid of this. I like it, but can I edit it? I think so. Let's see. Texture, simplify, thickness. But I really wanted my model mesh, so let's go ahead and dump this. Because that's not what we want. And we can actually make another loop on this if we can get rid of that other loop. There's a little lip right there. Let's do this. Cleaning it up. That's what we gotta do. Clean it up. Clean my mess up. Let's see what we got here. I like this loop, but I want something to kind of define this. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can grab this. Ooh, there's something there right there. Let's clean it better. But let's get to the edge loop. See if I can grab it without grabbing the whole thing. Oh, you can see what's going on. Just enough to give it a little bit of a round. Let's go ahead and do that with this too. Snap too. Heavy snap. That actually is leaning down, so let's go and pick it up. And let's just grab edge. There you go. So let's look at it from a distance. You got a little bit of a lip, and I can actually extend that up, but for what I want, maybe it just might be okay. This needs to be covered, and what we can do, just look at that. We can extend that along the edge, or I can make a new polygon there. So just some decisions right here. Just go with the polygon. That's just going to seem more reasonable to me. For a cube. Let's go ahead and drag a cube out. Just go with that. Let's edit the cube. Let's flatten it. Push it. Flatten it. Now we got a cube, and then we'll just snap to it to this and then go from there. I really don't want this to be too complicated. So let's go ahead and go this route. And we'll snap. Want to keep that form, that shape a little bit. There you go. And snap. There you go. Extend that out, kind of give it up. I'll tell you what, this is what we'll do. Just flag it out. Can't hurt. Can't hurt it. Let's just go that route. Let's go ahead and slice it right there. Should give a little interest. Ooh, get my gizmo. mode, and let's snap to that. This is kind of where I kind of miss hotkeys. Like in other 3D programs, you use a hotkey to do things. And what's my hotkeys? Let's see if we can find that a little bit more. This probably could have come down just a little bit right here. So let's do that. Let's grab that loop. Grab just the one loop, not all the loops. It's okay. There we go. Let's go for it. I'm trying to see through the model. Alright, kind of close that up, and I could probably add this to that just to kind of go ahead and give it some kind of base piece. Let's turn off the snapping. We don't need that. Let's go to face and grab these two faces if I can. Drag straight down. About as straight as I can get it, right? We're never gonna look this low under there, but there you go. You got a little bit of points. And what's the cool thing is that we can actually do this. Yeah, that kind of grabbed it kind of ugly, didn't it? What's going on there? I tried. Let's go here. Let's see what we got. But we don't want this face. There's some double geometry there. So let's just let's get rid of some faces. That's what's going on. Trying to keep it steady so it's not so dizzy, going back and forth, but I'm trying to find these vertices. Where you at? Okay. Hope that didn't make you too dizzy watching me just go back and forth, but let's go back and grab this whole thing. Can't grab it all. So let's do this. Snap to whatever's in there. Something is interesting in this model. We can go around it. Let's continue on. Yep. There's little faces in here. Let's just get rid of all this. Something got weird. Something got weird. And in that, let's just go this way. Problem solved. Figure it out in a very different program. What happened? Just gonna push it. A little slick. There you go. That was a little bit of trouble just to get that. You know, of all the model that I've done, yeah, little things will be like, oh, this is tricky. But let's see it. So that seems to work. Thing is in there. So slowly getting to the final stages. And what happened here? You can actually see that it didn't go. Stuff will get moved around in VR. You're just trying to get your spot in the world, and then once you get it, you're like, oh man, I grabbed the wrong thing. But pretty happy with this model. It was a fun model. I think I'll do the tires in some other program. There was a trick that they did say you could do, so let's see if it works. So I already grab. Oh, that's where it was. Since this is on a revolve, this is really where it's limited, that I'm not able to do everything I want to do. That's okay. I was gonna actually make a cylindrical object, put it in here, and edit it, and modify it. But the way the model's going, I think the tires are fine. I could always finish that out in another 3D program, or I could finish it in here. But given the time today, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. But this is where we're at. Got the low poly Batmobile. You get the light. Let's shine the light on it. Look at that. Interesting. Let's go to and you can turn off those contours. Let's see. We can go this route. Let's see what it looks like too. Kind of like it on though. That wireframe look, but at the same time, I know how many polygons is in here. So, but hopefully this is informative. As always, trying to play around in Gravity Sketch and trying to learn more. There's one more thing I saw that's got to go, but for now, we'll leave it. We can always fix that later. And it might not even be a big deal from a distance when you're looking at it like that. Batmobile coming at you. So, thank you for watching, and hope you'll tune into the next one. Bye.